Fear, according to Stoicism, is not an external force, but a product of our judgments and perceptions. The Stoics believed that fear arises from our beliefs and biases, rather than the world around us. They viewed fear as a psychological phenomenon that can be understood, examined, and navigated with wisdom. Stoics recognized the types of fear: rational fear, which acknowledges genuine danger and promotes caution, and irrational fear, rooted in false judgments causing unnecessary distress. Seneca highlighted that we often suffer more in imagination than in reality, emphasizing the impact of our perceptions on fear. To effectively handle fear, using Stoic principles, consider the following 10 key principles. The first Stoic principle is: acknowledge your fears, recognize and accept your fears without judgment. This awareness is the first step to addressing them. This principle focuses on leveraging our ability to reason to navigate complex problems, while being aware of biases that can cloud our judgments. By examining fears objectively, we can determine if they are reasonable or based on false perceptions. To practice, understand that fear arises from your perceptions and judgments rather than external factors. Recognize that not all fears are detrimental. Rational fear is essential for survival. When facing fear, analyze it objectively. Determine if the fear is based on genuine danger or false beliefs. By questioning the validity of your fears, you can distinguish between rational and irrational fears. By applying the Stoic principle of objective judgment, individuals can develop a rational approach to understanding and addressing their fears, distinguishing between justified caution and unfounded anxieties. The second Stoic principle is: focus on what you can control. Concentrate on things within your control, such as your thoughts, actions, and responses to fear-inducing situations. Stoics viewed fear as a primal instinct designed to protect us from immediate physical dangers. However, in modern life, fear often arises from anxieties, uncertainties, and interpretations of potential negative outcomes rather than imminent threats. The Stoics emphasized that fear is not an external force, but a psychological phenomenon rooted in our perceptions, judgments, biases, and experiences. They distinguished between rational fear, which acknowledges genuine danger and promotes caution, and irrational fear, which stems from false judgments and misconceptions, leading to unnecessary anxiety and distress. To address fear effectively, it is crucial to recognize that fear arises from our perceptions and judgments rather than external circumstances. By acknowledging that fear is a reaction to loss or potential negative outcomes based on our perception, we can begin to unravel its grip on us. To practice, differentiate between rational and irrational fears. Rational fears are essential for survival, as they acknowledge genuine danger. Irrational fears are based on false judgments and misconceptions. When confronted with fear, analyze its source. Determine if the fear is rational or irrational by evaluating the actual level of danger present. By understanding the root cause of your fear, you can begin to address it more effectively. By grasping the nature of fear, as perceived by Stoic philosophy rooted in our judgments and biases rather than external threats, and distinguishing between rational and irrational fears, individuals can develop a more nuanced approach to managing their fears with wisdom and discernment. The third Stoic principle for managing fear is: practice mindfulness, stay present in the moment, and observe your fears without letting them overwhelm you. Mindfulness helps you respond rationally rather than react impulsively. Mindfulness, a central tenet of Stoicism, entails being present in the moment and observing one's thoughts and emotions, without being consumed by them. Stoics believed that by cultivating mindfulness, individuals could develop a sense of inner peace and resilience in the face of fear-inducing situations. This principle emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and the ability to detach oneself from overwhelming emotions, allowing for a more rational and composed response to fear. Practical application: to apply the Stoic principle of mindfulness in dealing with fear, individuals should focus on being fully present in challenging situations, observing their thoughts and emotions without judgment or attachment. To practice, embrace mindfulness as a tool to cultivate self-awareness and detachment from overwhelming emotions like fear. By staying present in the moment, you can observe your fears objectively. When confronted with fear, practice mindfulness by taking deep breaths and grounding yourself in the present moment. Observe your thoughts and emotions without reacting impulsively. By maintaining awareness of your fear, without letting it control you, you can respond more calmly and rationally. By incorporating mindfulness into your approach to fear, based on Stoic principles, you can develop a heightened sense of self-awareness and emotional resilience, enabling you to navigate fear-inducing situations with clarity and composure. The fourth Stoic principle is: embrace impermanence. Understand that fear is transient and impermanent. Remind yourself that it will pass, just like any other emotion. Stoics believed that fear often arises from our attachment to outcomes and our resistance to change. By acknowledging the transient nature of life and accepting impermanence, individuals can cultivate a mindset that is more resilient in the face of fear-inducing situations. This principle encourages individuals to recognize that fear, like all emotions, is temporary and subject to change, emphasizing the importance of adapting to circumstances rather than resisting them. To apply the Stoic principle of embracing impermanence in dealing with fear, individuals should focus on accepting the ever-changing nature of life and outcomes. To practice, understand that fear, like all emotions, is temporary and subject to change. Recognize that resisting change and clinging to outcomes can intensify fear. When confronted with fear, remind yourself of the impermanent nature of emotions and situations. Embrace the idea that fear will pass, just like any other emotion. By accepting impermanence, you can approach fear with a sense of detachment and adaptability. By incorporating the Stoic principle of embracing impermanence into your approach to fear, you can develop a mindset that is more flexible, resilient, and capable of navigating uncertainties with greater ease and composure. The fifth Stoic principle for overcoming fear is to visualize worst-case scenarios. Consider the worst possible outcomes realistically. By facing these scenarios in your mind, you can reduce the intensity of your fears. Stoics believed that, by realistically considering the worst possible outcomes, individuals could diminish the intensity of their fears. This principle is rooted in the idea that fear often stems from our perceptions and interpretations of potential negative events, rather than immediate physical dangers. By confronting these scenarios in their minds, individuals can reduce the power of fear over them and develop a more rational approach to handling challenging situations. To apply the Stoic principle of visualizing worst-case scenarios in dealing with fear, individuals should actively imagine and analyze the potential negative outcomes they fear. To practice, understand that fear often arises from our interpretations of potential negative events rather than immediate dangers. By visualizing worst-case scenarios, you can confront your fears and reduce their impact. When faced with fear, take time to visualize the worst possible outcomes realistically. Consider the consequences and implications of these scenarios. By mentally preparing for the worst, you can diminish the intensity of your fears and approach challenges with a more rational mindset. By incorporating the Stoic practice of visualizing worst-case scenarios into your approach to fear, you can develop a more resilient mindset, reduce the grip of fear over you, and approach difficult situations with greater clarity and composure. The sixth Stoic principle is, develop resilience. Cultivate mental toughness by exposing yourself gradually to what you fear. This gradual exposure can help desensitize you over time. Resilience, in the Stoic context, refers to the ability to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity, to find a way forward when confronted with obstacles, and to cultivate inner strength that shields against external events eroding one's peace of mind. Stoics believed that resilience is not merely an academic concept, but a practical way of thinking and living that leads to lasting happiness and flourishing. This principle emphasizes acting in alignment with one's values and embracing adversity as a teacher. Let's explore it deeper. Act according to your values. The Stoic principle of acting according to your values, not your moods, underscores the importance of aligning actions with virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and discipline. By prioritizing virtue over immediate impulses, individuals set themselves on a path towards fulfillment and happiness. To practice, recognize that virtue is the only good, and vice the only evil according to Stoic philosophy. Act in alignment with your core values even when tempted otherwise, before making decisions, especially emotional ones. Assess if they align with your values, reconsider actions that deviate from your virtues, and contemplate how you would act if fully aligned with your values. Embrace adversity as a teacher. Stoics viewed adversity as an inevitable part of life that offers valuable lessons. Rather than avoiding or resenting challenges, individuals should seek wisdom and growth from difficult situations. To practice, embrace adversity as a natural aspect of life. Look for lessons and wisdom in challenging circumstances, rather than succumbing to self-pity or frustration when faced with adversity. Reflect on the lessons it offers. Seek growth opportunities within challenges rather than resisting them. Embracing adversity as a teacher can foster resilience and inner strength. By integrating the Stoic principles of acting in accordance with values and embracing adversity as a teacher, individuals can develop resilience that enables them to navigate difficulties with composure, learn from setbacks, and maintain inner peace amidst external turmoil. The seventh Stoic principle for managing fear is practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when facing fears. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Self-compassion, a core concept in Stoicism, entails treating oneself with kindness, understanding, and acceptance in the face of difficulties or fears. Stoics believed that by cultivating self-compassion, individuals could develop a sense of inner strength, resilience, and emotional well-being that enables them to navigate fear-inducing situations with greater ease. This principle emphasizes the importance of being gentle with oneself, acknowledging one's vulnerabilities, and fostering a mindset of self-care and understanding. To apply the Stoic principle of practicing self-compassion in dealing with fear, individuals should focus on treating themselves with kindness and understanding when faced with challenges or fears. To practice, embrace self-compassion as a way to acknowledge your fears and vulnerabilities without judgment. Recognize that it is natural to experience fear and respond to yourself with kindness. Practical application. When confronted with fear, practice self-compassion by speaking to yourself in a supportive and understanding manner. Treat yourself as you would a friend facing similar fears, offering words of encouragement and reassurance. By incorporating the Stoic practice of self-compassion into your approach to fear, you can develop a more nurturing relationship with yourself, build emotional resilience, and navigate fear-inducing situations with greater compassion and understanding. The eighth Stoic principle is, use rational thinking. Challenge irrational beliefs that fuel your fears. Replace them with logical and realistic thoughts to counteract fear-based thinking. Stoics believed that fear often arises from false judgments, misconceptions, and irrational beliefs rather than genuine dangers. By employing rational thinking, individuals can assess their fears objectively, distinguish between rational and irrational fears, and develop a clear understanding of the actual risks involved in a situation. This principle emphasizes the importance of examining one's fears critically, challenging distorted perceptions, and approaching fear with a logical and reasoned mindset. To use rational thinking in Stoicism means to analyze our thoughts and emotions objectively, and not let them cloud our judgment or paralyze us. Examine our beliefs and assumptions critically, and challenge them, as they are not based on facts or logic. Make decisions and actions that are consistent with our moral principles and goals, and not based on fear or desire. Learn from our experiences and from others who have faced similar situations, and apply the lessons to our own lives. Live in harmony with our own nature and the natural world, and not go against them. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of preparing for challenges and practicing resilience in the face of fear-inducing situations. By anticipating potential difficulties and developing strategies to address them, individuals can reduce the impact of fear and build confidence in their ability to cope with adversity. To practice, understand that preparation and practice are key components of overcoming fear. By anticipating potential obstacles and developing coping strategies, individuals can enhance their resilience when confronted with fear. Engage in premeditation of potential challenges, identify the worst-case scenarios, develop plans to address them, and practice mental readiness to confront fears effectively. By preparing for adversity and practicing resilience, you can diminish the power of fear over you. By using rational thinking in Stoicism, we can cope with any challenges or difficulties that life throws at us, and live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. The ninth Stoic principle is, seek support. Share your fears with trusted individuals who can provide perspective, encouragement, and support during challenging times. Stoics recognize the value of seeking guidance, advice, and comfort from others in times of fear and adversity. By reaching out for support, individuals can gain perspective, reassurance, and insights that help them navigate their fears more effectively. This principle emphasizes the importance of community, connection, and shared wisdom in overcoming fear. To apply the Stoic principle of seeking support in dealing with fear, individuals should actively seek out community, whether through friends, family, mentors, or support groups. To practice, recognize that seeking support is a strength, not a weakness. Embrace the idea of connecting with others to gain perspective and guidance in times of fear. When facing fear, reach out to trusted individuals for advice, comfort, or simply a listening ear. Share your fears openly and seek insights from those who can offer support and guidance. By fostering connections and seeking support, you can navigate fear with a sense of shared wisdom and understanding. By incorporating the Stoic practice of seeking support into your approach to fear, you can tap into the collective wisdom and strength of others, gain new perspectives on your fears, and find comfort in knowing that you are not alone in facing challenges. The 10th Stoic principle is, reframe the fear. It involves changing one's perspective on fear, to view it as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. Stoicism teaches individuals to reframe their fears by altering their perception of the situation, making fear less intimidating and more manageable. By shifting the mindset from seeing fear as a hindrance to recognizing it as a chance for personal development, individuals can approach fear with a sense of empowerment and resilience. To apply the Stoic principle of reframing fear in practical terms, individuals should actively work on changing their perception of fear from a negative force to a positive catalyst for growth. To practice, understand that fear can be reframed as an opportunity for personal development and learning. Embrace the idea that facing fears can lead to growth and self-improvement. When encountering fear, consciously reframe it as a chance to learn, develop resilience, and expand your comfort zone. Instead of avoiding fear-inducing situations, approach them with the mindset of embracing challenges and using fear as a stepping stone for personal growth. By reframing fear in this way, you can transform it into a tool for self-improvement and empowerment. In addition, it is useful to apply detachment from outcomes. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of detaching one's happiness from external outcomes by shifting the focus away from specific results or consequences. Individuals can reduce the intensity of their fears and approach challenges with a clearer mindset. To practice, recognize that placing excessive importance on specific outcomes can intensify fear. Embrace the idea of detaching your sense of worth or happiness from external events. When facing fear, practice detaching yourself from the outcomes that trigger anxiety or distress. Focus on the process rather than fixating on the end result, allowing yourself to approach challenges with a sense of detachment and equanimity. By detaching from outcomes, you can reduce the grip of fear on your emotions and navigate challenges with greater clarity and composure. By incorporating the Stoic practice of reframing fear into your approach to challenging situations, you can transform fear into an opportunity for growth, detach yourself from external outcomes, and develop a resilient mindset that empowers you to face fears with courage and wisdom. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. This quote by Seneca underscores the Stoic belief that facing challenges and overcoming fears is essential for personal growth and mental fortitude. It emphasizes the idea that difficulties, much like physical exercise for the body, serve to strengthen and sharpen the mind, enabling individuals to cultivate resilience, wisdom, and inner strength through adversity. By using these 10 Stoic principles into your daily life, you can develop a practical and effective approach to managing fear with wisdom and resilience.